Hey look, it's a video! Oh my god! Wherein I attempt to be good at magic and entertaining at the same time. It never happens, but we're gonna try it anyway. I kinda stopped trying to record these during Dragon's Maze because Dragon's Maze sucked and was really hard and I could never get my handle on the format, so... Alright. Um... We have some interesting cards. Everflame Eidolon is very good. Spirit of the Labyrinth is okay. It's a 3-drop. Sorry, it's a 3-power 2-drop, which is always going to be good in the white deck. As with most other people, I'm not a huge fan of red, but this is one of the cards that is very good in red. It's certainly more powerful than this, so I think I take this. And bearing in mind, I will probably get, say, Farragax Giant or Nyxborn Rollicker back, because those are both actually really good cards. Like Farragax Giant has impressed me quite a bit. It's not great, but as a curve topper, especially against blue decks where they try to bounce all your things, them just taking 5 damage, even if they're at 19 or something like that, is a big deal. But I'm going to take Everflame Eidolon here. Passing up on Sudden Storm, which is a good blue card, but I like the power level that provides. It definitely trades twice. This pack, on the other hand, is not so great. They've taken the rare, but there's like no white either, which is interesting. I don't like this card, and I would sooner not pick it up. Pinnacle of Rage is not great. Reckless Reverie is only okay. Scouring Sands is fine. There are lots of X ones now. Like the most powerful card is Raised by Wolves, but they need to have tapped out. Which, admittedly, you tap out quite a lot in this format. But like I'm taking this. I don't like red, green all that much, but I think it's clearly Raised by Wolves is the best card. Like I think Nullify is the second best card in the pack after Raised by Wolves, but it's pretty close. And Unravel the Ether is fine. It's much better in Constructed, where it's 60 cards, and you're very unlikely to draw the card immediately again. Alright, well, third pick Skyguard is kind of a signal. There's also a Bile Blight and a Fated Intervention. I think I just have to take the Skyguard. Like, that shouldn't still be there. Bile Blight is also good, but I haven't passed any white apart from the one card, and this card is just it's ridiculous. It's the best white common. Fated Intervention is fine, but 2/3/3s on turn 4. 2/3/3s on turn 4 is good. 2/3/3s on turn 5 is less good, and if you're struggling on green mana on turn 6, it's really not exciting. I'm just going to take the Skyguard. Bile Blight is also a consideration because that card should also not still be here, I feel. But we'll take the slightly more powerful card. And get past a Vanguard of Brimaz, which is fantastic. There's also a Kragma Butcher, which is a good sign. Drown in Sorrow isn't really a card I like in Draft. The creatures get bigger than 2/2 way faster than you can actually cast this card. I'm just going to take Vanguard here. Wow, we could have gone super controlling, just all the black removal into like Eater of Hope. I don't think this card should still be here. Like, I'm not happy to first pick this card, but I would certainly first pick it if I have the intent. If I feel like going the black controlling deck, this is a very good finisher. But we have Loyal Pegasus, so we're just going to take that. We haven't seen any much green after the Fated Intervention, so I'm happy not going for green unless we see something ridiculous late here. We've currently got the good makings of a red-white aggressive deck. Here we have Mortal's Ardor if you just want to cut white, which would send a strong signal. But I don't like, especially in pack 1, just taking a card because you're sending a signal. Swordwise Centaur, that seems like it shouldn't be here. Stormcaller and Cyclops are the two cards I'm looking at, though, really. Stormcaller is slightly better because it's a human, and in red-white you get Cavalry Pegasi, and that makes this card really good. Cyclops is a bit rubbish because it just dies to janky cards like this, but also Farika's Cure, and your 4-drop slot. You don't really want creatures in your 4-drop slot. You want Portent of Betrayal. Here we get the decision between these two. Out of the two cards that we opened, I think that it's more likely we see the Faragax Giant back than the Nyxborn Rolliker, so I'm going to take the Rolliker here. This is also a much better card in the very, very low curve, aggressive red-white deck. This is an okay finisher, but Rolliker isn't exciting. I'm not going to say it's that great, but it certainly performs a function. And now we'll just take this 2-1. There's nothing really exciting here. Like, this Fellhide Brawler is really mediocre, and Peregrination is okay, but only in the multicolored green deck. And we got both of them back. I mean, I'm surprised we got both of them back. I think I'm just going to take a second Rolliker, though. We're shaping up to be a very low curve deck, and we just want lots of ways of bestowing. Again, this card is fine, but if we can get away with playing... Like, we've already got these, which are already going to see play, and none of them are above CMC3. We may not even play this card if we get better 3-drops. So if we can get away with playing 16 land, I would be very happy with that. 16 land is really ambitious, given how we want multi-red for this, and multi-white for cards like Vanguard, but we can play like a 9-7 split or something like that. I mean, it wheeled. I'm probably taking it because it goes well with Loyal Pegasus, but I don't like this card. It's certainly better than a random 2-1, because you can always pick up random 2-1s whenever you feel like it. Well, now we'll take a Faragax Giant, because it's just there. It's surprising that these are all coming back round. It's good, because it means that red is very open. We haven't passed much white. We haven't been past much white, but not having passed much white hopefully means we see at least 1 or 2 good white cards in this pack. We could go red-green, but our early game does not match up with that very well at all. We'd sooner just take some good white cards, have lots of heavy red cards. Oh, fine, I'll take another one of these. I don't really want to play 2 of them. I don't even want to play 1 of them, but it's aggressive enough that you can do worse than a flyer that requires a certain thing to deal with. Hold at Bay is not something I'm excited to play, but I'll keep it there just in case we need it. If we're desperate for heroic enablers, then we can at least use Hold at Bay. It certainly is not... Lightning Volley is terrible. Hold at Bay is certainly not Acolyte's Reward, which is a card I really like. Acolyte's Reward was a card that I looked at, thought it did nothing because it was too situational, and I've played it a few times, and even if you've only got Devotion of 2, it's ridiculous. Opening a Favored Hoplite is excellent. There's nothing really else here. Like, if no one else is in red, which I suspect is the case given how many late red cards there were, we might wield the Spear Point, which is a perfectly reasonable card. We certainly shouldn't expect like any of these blue cards back. We didn't see much blue at all, so... Just going to take this Favoured Hoplite and be very happy, because Hoplite into any 2-drop enabler is pretty much good game. It's very hard to beat a 3-4 on turn 2. And now we don't have a lot here. Like Stone Shock is an okay finisher. I'd rather take Divine Verdict or Spearpoint Oread. Spearpoint is great with the fire breathing and also with any dragon mantles we might pick up, which we really want. Divine Verdict is an okay card, but it's not the kind of removal you want. What you actually want to do is just get Portents of Betrayal. So I'm going to take the Spearpoint. I've also not ever been able to pick up this card in any reasonable time frame. There's always been a better card, and it routinely beats me when I play against it. Well, there's Dragon Mantle, but there's Hopeful Eidolon, and we have to take Hopeful Eidolon because it's a ridiculous card. Hopefully we can pick up a Dragon Mantle or 2 later, because no one else should be in this colour combination. And here we'll just take Dauntless Onslaught because it's amazing, and pass up a load of stuff we don't care about. Two-Headed Cerberus is okay. It's not amazing, though. I'm probably taking it out of this because hopefully I'm playing better 2-drops than Chosen by Theod. It's a fine card, but it doesn't pump power, so it's not good with the Two-Headed Cerberus, which I'm taking. And it doesn't really do much yet. Like, we've only got 1, 2 enablers, 2 heroic guys. I mean, 3 technically. I'd sooner have the Two-Headed Cerberus, though. again, we might cut this card because it's quite it makes our colours quite bad, but I'd sooner have a creature than a mediocre trick. Alright, well, here we have Borderland Minotaur or Portent of Betrayal, and I really like Borderland Minotaur, but I'm going to take Portent of Betrayal because it's a really good card. If you ever get multiples of them, you're probably just winning. This is an interesting one. I do like having one enchantment removal card in my deck. I'm going to hide this now because we're definitely not going to need it. I'm also going to hide the Faragax Giant. I think we don't need to take this now. We can either take Battlewise Valor or Travelling Philosopher. I like just taking Travelling Philosopher. Battlewise Valor is okay, but it's not... It never feels quite good enough. It's very good, but it's not... I never feel like I want to main deck it. It's always the weakest trick of my bag of tricks. Well, we have a Cavalry Pegasus, but we also have a Crone Crusader, and a Crone Crusader is really good, especially in this kind of deck, so I'm just going to take that. We'll cut the Stetson Battle Priest, because we do not want to play against that card. We're not going to play it, though. Cut the Scholar of Athreos, or we take Glare of Heresy to deal with the Scholar of Athreos. I like taking Glare. It's a nice sideboard card to have. And we don't care too much about the Scholar. I mean, we've got 1/2/1 so far, and we're probably not playing it, the Reckless Reveler. Everything else doesn't get bricked by it. So that's good. This is shaping up to be a very nice low curve deck. We have the whole of pack 3 to get 6 playables, and I would be happy with just about anything. I mean, it means that we can cut these Impetuous Sun Chasers if something comes around, which I really want to do. I'm going to cut this Cutthroat Maneuver, because if someone wants to play it, it's likely good in their deck, and it would be a really annoying thing to have them have lifelink. It's an expensive card, and it's not very good, but someone is likely to play it and beat us with it. Certainly more than that Viper's Kiss, which isn't going to do anything. So in pack 3, maybe like a Lightning Strike. I'm thinking of things we could reasonably expect to get. Lightning Strike would be fine. I'm going to take this. I don't care about anyone else playing those other 2 cards. One Lightning Strike would be good. Something to replace these. Wild Celebrants is probably not seeing play, because I'm going to let someone play Unknown Shores, because I hate that card. Ooh, we got an Unkept Mountain to finish off. Fantastic. We like this. Oh, we got another Favored Hoplite, which is very, very good. There's also a Coordinated Assault, but I'm tempted to say that that's going to wheel, because it certainly feels like we're the only person in red at the table. So we're going to get something back, even if it's just like a Travelling Philosopher, or if we get something, if we're lucky, then we get this Ill-Tempered Cyclops back or this Coordinated Assault. We'll just take the Favored Hoplite though. And there's a Lightning Strike. Excellent. We are on plan. And then we have this bag of goodies. We're just going to take the Perforos Emissary. This card isn't great. It's generally just a 3/3 that can't be blocked, which is good, but it's certainly not... You never get to bestow it. This one and the white one, you very rarely get to bestow because they're so much more expensive than 6 mana. But I certainly favour it over a Dirtly 2/3. Snarecaster is fine. We might see it back. Jeez. This is only pick 2, I suppose. Oh man, God's Willing or a Crone Hoplite? We have to... or Ordeal. Oof. Oh, that's tough. That's really tough. Because we don't have a Cavalry Pegasus. No, that's not... The Crone Hoplite is so good. We probably have enough creatures that we can afford to take the Ordeal, though. We have so many 1-drops. The Ordeal is just going to take away the game so quickly. We also have God's Willing. I'm going to take Ordeal, but all of these picks are really close. I don't expect to wheel this, but if we do, it would be awesome. That was a really tough pick. I didn't know what to take there, really. I just hope that I sort of made the right choice, because all 3 of those cards are really good. Ordeal is not amazing, but it's very, very good. Well, now I'm kind of annoyed because there's an Ordeal of Heliod there. Probably just taking Fanatic of Mogis. I could take Titan Strength, which is also good. Fanatic increases our curve. We have a lot of... No, I think I'm just going to take Titan Strength. or the second ordeal. Right, I'm going to take second ordeal. We have one Crusader. If we happen to see another one, it makes that very much better, because then we'll have 4 1-drops that we want to play on turn 1 into 2 ordeals, which we're likely to see. So now we just want one more playable, but 3 or 4 would be good, so we could get rid of these Sun Chasers, which aren't great, and just improve the card quality of our deck a little bit. Stormcaller I would happily not play, because it doesn't do as much as, say, that is a very late Wingsteed Rider. That is sort of a good playable that we want. Stormcaller doesn't do as much as the 2/2 that gains +2/+0, the Minotaur Skull Cleaver. It doesn't do as much as that, especially when we don't have a thing to jump it, and the Minotaur isn't that great either, so it's okay, but it's not ever that great. I'm just going to take Rage of Perforos. The Freaky Skewer is quite good against us. I'm just going to take the Rage. Might as well take the removal if it's there. And here I guess I take Evangel, though I'm not planning on playing it. Because we currently have a very good 24. Well, a good 22 plus these things. A good 21 plus these things, I guess. With 2 ordeals, like, these low power evasive creatures become quite good. Alright, well, we got Ill-Tempered Cyclops and Travelling Philosopher back. I think we're still planning on playing just 16 lands, so I think I just want the 2-drop. It can replace the Reckless Reveler, which isn't very good. It's fine, but it's not great. And the Cyclops is, again, fine, but I want to keep the curve low. That Spark Jolt's pretty good. I can certainly see actually playing that card. I'll board it in case there are, like, multiple X1s. I don't really care about Satyr Rambler, or indeed any of these things. I could just cut the Ifara's Warden, because if someone's going to play it, it's probably going to beat us and be really annoying. And then I'll just take this Flamecast Wheel, and take this second Evangel, which we're not playing, and the Silent Arts then. So this is 25, cut this is 24, job done, really. Like, we might instead cut the 2-headed Cerberus, but I think that this setup looks better. It's just very aggressive. It's got 3 1-drops into 3 forms of Bestow, or 4 1-drops technically. 3 forms of Bestow already. No, 2 forms of Bestow and 2 enablers in Ordeals. Then we've got Everflame Eidolon, and just a very aggressive curve. Probably running 9. Well, we're playing 8/8, obviously. Though it could be 9/7, but we need both colours equally. So I think just running an even split is fine. Just try and go under our opponents. So let's put all this in. That's 24. We have options instead on things like Faragax Giant, if we just need a way of killing them, but we don't need to. We've got this Portent of Betrayal, which I'm very glad I picked over... What was it we picked it over? It was another 4-drop, wasn't it? I can't remember what it was, though. Oh, it was the Borderland Minotaur. Yeah, we want this card instead. I'm very glad that we picked it up, because that was the only one we saw. Let's just split this up a bit. That's a 2, that's a 2. These are all 2s. This is definitely a 3 and not a 6. That's a 3 there. And that goes down there, and that's a 4. Like, we have a load of enablers, and a lot of them are also creatures, which is good. We need a very aggressive start, but that's what this kind of deck wants to achieve. It just wants to achieve punishing your opponents who are not as quick off the mark. So I'm just going to submit this, and I will see you in round